Hey guys, what's up? How you doing? It's your boy Spyro 2355 here, and welcome to a new series on my channel called Dark Spyro Rants. It's not always going to be a rant, but this time I thought it would be good to come back and do this because it's been a while, I know, since I've been in front of the camera. We'll get to that in another video. But for today, I wanted to focus on something that I've seen in my Twitter feed for quite some time. I wanted to make a video about it, and I've been getting so many affairs in order for the past month and had so many shows, and you know, it's just been hard for me to find time to be able to record anything. I recorded a video about Venom because I went and saw it twice. I recorded a video about Venom. I never got to post it because I never had time. But now that I'm back, I am officially back now. I know that it's, the day before Halloween, and then, I probably won't have enough time to finish Spyro 2. I will try my best to finish Spyro 2. I'll make that my focus. But we'll be getting to that later. For right now, I wanted to talk about something that was kind of on my mind, and that would be ports. And I thought with the Reignited trilogy just a couple weeks away, that ports would be a good idea to talk about. Because ports, I see it on my Twitter feed all the time. People will, complain about, oh, a game doesn't get enough love. It needs more of this. It needs more of that. And to that, I say nay. Because if you're talking about a game not getting enough love, that's fine. There are plenty of games like that. And for me personally, I think Oddworld Abe's Odyssey doesn't get enough love. I think that games like Spyro A Hero's Tale doesn't get enough love. That game was fantastic. Enter the Dragonfly, for what it was a great game too. The Skylanders games don't get enough love. I personally think there's plenty of games out there that don't get enough love. And then people will complain when they hear about ports of it. And, well, this game shouldn't get a port and blah, 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 when they just say a different game doesn't get enough love. I see it all the time on my Twitter feed. I see people battling it out, words, and it just is never a pretty sight. And, I'll just use this game as an example. Super Mario Odyssey. I've probably put 120 plus hours into that game just since I've bought it. Because I've been playing it a lot on the go since I've been out at different, concerts and things, because I'm a musician on the side. That's how I, kind of just do things around here and give back as I put on shows for people, do benefits, and run sound for different bands and that kind of thing. But, through doing that, I've had people even come up to me while, I'll be sitting there, playing my Switch, and people will come up to me and say, hey, that's got a lot of ports on it, right? I'll be like, yeah, and that doesn't degrade the console. It's like they're trying to tell me that this $300 console doesn't have merit because it's got a lot of ports. And if you think about it, it makes sense from a business standpoint, because all of a sudden, here you go. You have all of these games that were in the last round on the Wii U, even though I own a Wii U. It's right over there. You guys have seen it in my room tour. I've got a Wii U. I've got a Sega Genesis flashback. I've got a PlayStation 3. I mean, I've got a PS4. I've got a Switch. I've got all these good consoles. I mean, and it's not like they downgrade the console just because there's a lot of ports. I mean, come on. What are you smoking, Johnny? I mean, it just because a game system has ports doesn't make it bad. And that's something I've been trying to get people to understand, is ports don't make a console bad. If anything, it helps the console. Because the console might have, a bad launch, or, not much third-party support, much like the Wii U. I personally love my Wii U. I would never trade it for anything. I love that Wii U. I have plenty of games on it, Smash being one of them. I have tons of games on that Wii U. that I've either bought digitally or bought physically. I've even got some regular Wii games that I play on it all the time. I play Ocarina of Time on the Wii Virtual Console all the time with my buddy Indie Pro Star on Twitch. You should go check him out. Twitch.tv/Indie Pro Star. You should go check him out. He's a great guy. But I play that game all the time with him. We're about to be done with the game. He's stuck on the Shadow Temple. I've been trying to help him out. But, you know, we're about to head to the Spirit Temple, the last temple of the game. And, you know, that's a port. The one on the 3DS, that's a port. But many people argue that Zelda Ocarina of Time is the best Zelda game of all time. I personally disagree. But that's just me, you know. I mean, personally for me, if I'm going to play a Zelda game, it's going to be Twilight Princess. That's my personal game. Of course, I haven't spent much time with Breath of the Wild, but that doesn't mean that I don't like Breath of the Wild. I just haven't had enough time to spend with it because I've been doing either Mario Odyssey or I've been out on the road around town locally putting on shows and benefits. So I haven't really had much time to put into Breath of the Wild. I need something like Mario Odyssey that I can play for 15 to 20 minutes at a time to kind of fill that void, or during the show when I'm just running sound, which is kind of mundane. I'll need something to play while I'm sitting there. So I pick up my Switch and, you know, boom, I do it that way. But, you know, like, people say ports are bad. Well, if you're going to say ports are bad, then you might as well say, you know, buying a used game is a sin. That's basically like saying the same thing. Like, and a lot of times with these ports and these older games, and this is why people, you know, complain about when emulators or when emulate. I know talking about emulation as a Let's Player is kind of a social faux pas. I get that. But what do you think I use when I do my videos? I use emulation. For one, I don't want to have to degrade the disc that I have up here on my shelf. I don't want to have to worry about it, you know, wiping memory off or doing something, or my disc getting damaged. So I use emulation to play all of my games. Unless I can directly capture it with my capture card, I use emulation because I don't want to have to try to, you know, worry about my disc degrading. Now, for something like the PS3 that have Blu-ray discs, that's not as much of a concern for me. So like when I'm playing, you know, something like Kingdom Hearts, for example. I'm playing through that right now with my buddy Doskitos Gaming on his channel. And I have the 1.5 and 2.5 iterations on the PS3. You know, but those, they're Blu-ray discs, so I'm not really as concerned about those getting degraded because Blu-ray discs take a lot longer to do that. But for older games like Wii games and things like that, you know, like Nights into Dreams, it's a current video that I've been meaning to make. It's a current game I just got not too long ago for $3 from a pawn shop. I mean, you know, that's pretty dang good right there. I mean, you know, Night's Journey of Dreams is fantastic. I've been having a lot of fun with it. But this was before, you know, I started doing stuff and putting on shows for people. But I think personally that when it comes to ports, is, you know, with emulation, people don't really see that emulation is archiving these games. That's the same thing as a port. If say, okay, let's use the most prime example from the most recent Nintendo Direct. All right, New Super Mario Bros. U coming to the Switch. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, as they're dubbing it. That game was on a console that did not sell all that well, even though all my friends own Wii U's. I own a Wii U personally. But even though all my friends own it, not many people do. And for them to come out with New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe and include a bunch of new features and a new character and a new this and a new that, you're going to entice more people to buy the game as opposed to the original. And you also get New Super Luigi U for free, which I think is fantastic, with a bunch of new levels and a bunch of new, you know, like they've added some new content and different things. I mean, even though I am a huge Spyro fan, I've said it many times, Spyro is a huge part of my life. I still do play other consoles and I have other interests. And Mario is the first game I ever played when I was a kid. So for me to have a classic style Mario game like that, that's 2.5D, come to the Switch, even though it was already on the Wii U, I never got to experience it personally. Well, I did, but not very long. I only got to borrow it from somebody. To have a game like that, you know, that I never really got to personally buy, to be able to have it again on a current console that I can play on the go, which further justifies the cost for me, because now I'm on the go a lot. I play it in the car more than I do in docked mode. So for me to have something like that to play in portable mode while I'm putting on a show, or while I'm in the car riding to a show if it's in another city, you know, something like that, I will always go for that port because it's something I can grab from my Switch. And, you know, I'll even get one just that way in case this is y'all's first video of mine. Here's my Switch. Okay. Here's my Switch. I didn't buy it until about, I don't know, last month before that, depending on the time you see this video. It was in September is when I bought this. And I got my Switch here, you know, and, you know, I play this thing a lot more than I do my PS4. And the reason for that is because I'm on the go a lot. And I love this Nintendo Switch. I'll play it in docked mode whenever I can. But for me to not be able to have it on the go would be a huge folly for me. I wouldn't have bought it if it didn't have that on the go feature, that portable mode feature. I wouldn't have bought it. And for me to have that capability of being able to take it on the go, being able to do things with it, made it a huge selling point for me, because I knew that there was going to be some shows that I would have to put on, and I would have to have the Switch to do that. I even did an unboxing of the Switch. You can check out my channel. Some more videos on my channel for that. I did an in-depth analysis of the Nintendo Switch fresh out of the box, and I even still have my box for the Switch. But point is that, you know, I have been adoring my Switch, and for the portability mostly, because I mean, while I could take my Wii U on the go, I'd have to make sure I'd have a wall outlet to plug into. You know, and I'd have to put whatever games on my hard drive onto the actual Wii U itself. I have an external hard drive for my Wii U. And I'd have to take off the games that I'd want to take on the go and put them on the hardware itself, or carry a bunch of discs around. With the Switch, it's a quick one-time, you know, grab it off the dock. Oh, I may need the charger. Let's unplug that out of the back. Put it in my backpack. Boom. We got a portable console right there. That, to me, is, you know, and you have that little kickstand to put it down on a table if you want to play in tabletop mode. Like, for example, with Mario Odyssey, I only use the motion controls. You know, that had to have the ability to do that. You know, the Nintendo Switch itself, fantastic. Now, a lot of people would argue about Spyro. You know, I've even seen, even though there's tons of people that have been just absolutely just fangasming over Reignited, and I'm one of those people. I love it. There have been some people that have complained about Spyro Reignited, saying, "Oh, it's nothing more than a glorified port." Have you seen the latest trailer? Hello? Is anybody out there? Is anybody even remotely listening? Spyro Reignited is more than that. It's a built from the ground up game. And I guarantee you, had it not been for Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy and that being so successful, we would not be getting a Spyro Reignited trilogy either. And that game is green when it comes out in, like, let's see, I think like 2 weeks from today. I think is when it comes out. It's 2 weeks from the time of the recording of this video. And some people just don't understand it. You know, like, they complain about games getting ported. but then they'll turn around and want a game to get more love. And it's like, well, you can't have one without the other. You either have a great port that works well, or you have a game that gets digitally redistributed or remastered from the ground up. Like with Crash and Spyro. You can't have your cake and eat it too. They do this to test the waters to see if people actually want it. You know? I mean, that's the reason why they put out these ports. That's the reason that they put out these other games. Like with Spyro. When the game got delayed, and you guys remember my video for that. When the game got delayed, I said the reason why they postponed it was because of people not wanting to have it digitally. And this is just as bad as that. You know, you guys complain about, you know, games getting ported, but then you'll complain when a game that is either getting the HD remake treatment taking a little bit longer than normal, or a little bit longer than anticipated to actually make. Which, judging from the new trailer, which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen it, you need to go see that new Spyro trailer. It's fantastic. But you'll complain about that, but then you'll turn around and say, "Ooh, all ports should die." Like, how much sense does that make? You're excited about the Reignited trilogy and wanting it to come out, and you know, you're you know, ready to go, and you want to get that game. And I still have the digital license for it, by the way. You're wanting to get that game, and then you'll turn around and dog on someone else for porting a game. It makes no sense. Like, that is completely backwards from what it should be, right? And again, it's, "Hey Johnny, what you smoking?" It's like, really, what do you think is going to happen with these companies if people ran enough? They're going to stop making ports. And what's going to happen when all the emulation and ROM sites go down? There's going to be no way to preserve these games. They're going to die. That's the point. And I'm a big retro gamer. I mean, if you look at my game collection, either on my PC through emulation, or even my digital library, or even my physical library that I have up there in my gaming shelf, if you guys look through any of my games right now, 90% of them are PS2 and older. There's a reason for that. It's because I'm a huge retro gamer. I have been my whole life. My first game ever played was a Mario game. I've been a Mario fan since I was 4 years old. You can ask anyone in my family. I've been a Mario fan since I was 4 years old. When Spyro came out, I've been a big fan of his. My background is the cover art for the brand new Spyro Ripto's Rage game. My background on my desktop is that. I'm a huge retro fan. Have been for years. I own all of the Tomb Raider games on Steam. I own all the Sonic games on Steam that I can possibly own. I mean, there's a lot of things that I own. Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, Oddworld Abe's Exodus, Munch's Odyssey. I own all of these old games because I legitimately enjoy them. I'm a retro gamer. That's what I do. That's why I love playing Spyro. And while I am doing a current game on my Let's Plays, that doesn't mean that I'm strictly a new gamer. I mean, just the fact that I'm doing Spyro on my Let's Plays should show you guys that. I'm a huge fan of old retro games, and to see somebody that complains about those retro games getting ported, or any kind of games getting ported, period, then turn around and complain about a game not getting enough love really upsets me. Or even people that complain about games getting ported in general. It gets to me because the developers of said game are trying to preserve the game. That's why they port them. That's why the PS4 has every Resident Evil game on it. Because that game is getting love and it's getting ported. Every Resident Evil game, you can go look this up right now. Any Resident Evil game that you can look up that's worth anything is on the PS4 right now. Even the original Resident Evil is on there. The Wii even got a port of the original. So, you know, you can't tell me that, you know, those games would still be relevant today if it wasn't for the ports. You cannot tell me that with any kind of confidence. I'm glad to be back, guys. This video is getting a little long. It's at the 20-minute mark right now. I'm going to go ahead and end the video, but I want to hear you guys, comments about this. I want to know what you guys legitimately think about this. Put them in the comments. I want to know what you guys think about these games getting ported. And I thought it was appropriate with it being reignited, being 2 weeks away. I thought this was the best time to talk about it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below about ports. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? Give the reasons why you do or you don't. Tell me. I'm glad to be back, guys. I am super thrilled to be back. I'm hoping that this spark, stays with me. But getting back in front of the camera again has really gotten me stoked again. I'm going to start making more videos now. I'm going to work on Spyro. I'm going to play Final Fantasy actually right after I record this video, so that way I can, get back up to where I was in 8. And 8's on Steam. All the Final Fantasy games are on Steam. I have most of them too. See, that's my point, is that a lot of these games will get ported. But I don't want to get off on it again. God bless every one of you guys. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you guys think. And you guys have a blessed day. And I will definitely see all you beautiful people again really soon. I love you all very much. Bye.